What's going on? What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learned, the show where we go through all the latest talking points surrounding Chelsea's recent performance. And what a performance as well. We've said so many times on these videos, I want to see Chelsea play convincingly. I want to see a dominant performance and a dominant win as well. And we have finally seen that. Feels like the first time I'm saying that since we, I think, beat Leeds 3-0 in the last away game of the season last season. Ever since then, we haven't had a dominant performance like that. But it was a convincing win. Hopefully puts a lot of confidence into the squad, and hopefully we can build on it. But plenty of talking points in this video that we're going to get into. Before we do that, as always, hit the like button, press the subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. We are on the road to 160k, if we haven't already reached it yet. If we have, big up. Now we're on the road to 170k. So continue to hit that like button and that subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. We are aiming for 500 likes in today's video. So guys, hit that button and let's see if we can reach that target, because I'm sure everyone's in a good mood after yesterday's performance. Check out my personal channel, Carefree Lewis G, as well. Link will be down in the description below and in the title as well. And let's get into it. Like I said, very dominant performance from us. Didn't start well. The first 10-15 minutes made it look like we were going to see a completely different game from Chelsea. But as soon as we got the first goal, the game turned on its head. And AC Milan just couldn't cope with us. We started getting more confident. We started looking better on the ball. We started dominating the midfield more as well. RubenLoftusCheek and Kovacic as well, I have to give them credit, because they absolutely tore that midfield a new one. One of my biggest things I was looking at going into that game was Ismail Benacer, because we've been linked with him over the last few weeks. He's been looked at as a potential long-term replacement. And I'm not going to judge him off one game either, but Ruben had him in his back pocket. Ruben had him in his back pocket, and that was going to be my first talking point as well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's performances this season and towards the end of last season, yes, they haven't been consistent at times, but from a squad player, I don't think you could really ask for much more. You're not really going to get consistent performances from them, but you are going to get them stepping in whenever we need them, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek has done that for us. There's been numerous times where he's gone in at right wing back and he's played much better than we've given him credit for, like Real Madrid away, for example, Crystal Palace in the semi-final of the Cup, Tottenham earlier on this season, and now we're looking at this game as well, but now it's in midfield, and we're starting to see him look a bit more composed. He's starting to understand playing in a deeper role, and he looks more comfortable and he looks more confident in himself. He was a nuisance for AC Milan. On the ball, he was so hard for them to take the ball off. They was forcing so many fouls out of that midfield. Defensively, did his job well. Going forward, his passing was solid as well. He was helping and contributing in terms of build-up play. Brilliant performance from him. And I wanted to shout him out specifically because it's always brilliant when you have a player like that who isn't demanding to play regular game time, and he's just happy to be a part of the squad at Chelsea. And that's what Ruben's always been about. That's why whenever I've criticised him, I've never had too much energy for him, because he's not demanding to start. He's not demanding high wages. He's not demanding anything really except decent game time and opportunities. And in this game, he was brilliant. He was unbelievable in a season where I have said every midfield pivot is going to worry me. Every midfield 3 or midfield 2 is always going to have a question mark. Ruben did an unbelievable job of showing that there can still be a replacement in the 6 role if we need there to be. So first point I wanted to say, just shout out Ruben Loftus-Cheek, because it was an unbelievable performance from him. Second point, there's 2 people I want to talk about, but we have to get the 2 of our best forwards out of the way in this: Rhys James and Aubameyang. Aubameyang, I was hearing so much criticism from him in the stands in the second half. And I didn't even think he played that badly. He had good link-up play. Brilliant assist for Mason Mount in the first half, even though he was offside. But that's more Mason Mount's fault than him. And even with limited chances, I thought he was doing well. But everyone was just complaining about his touch and the fact that we hadn't put the ball in the back of the net or anything. But we hadn't given Aubameyang a clear-cut chance. And what do I keep saying? Say what you want about Aubameyang before the chances. All I need to see is what he does is when you give him a clear-cut chance. And Rhys James gave him a perfect cross on a plate for him. And what did he do? He put it in the back of the net. Give the guy credit where the credit is due, because suddenly the whole aspect on Aubameyang's performance completely flipped on its head. That's why you can't be so rash when you're criticising him, because his job isn't to be involved in build-up play. His job isn't to get assists or anything like that, or to beat players 1v1. No, his job is to put the ball in the back of the net, and I keep saying this. If he ghosts before the goal and he scores, I do not care. I do not care, because that's all we're bringing him in here for. His movement was brilliant. Yeah, his touch let him down a couple times in the first half. I don't ask Aubameyang to hold up the ball for us though, so I don't care too much if he can't do that. If Aubameyang stops scoring, I understand the criticism. But Aubameyang, 2 games without the mask now, and he has scored 2 goals in 2 games. Park the criticism aside, because the guy is doing his job. And that's all you can ask of him. Rhys James as well. Rafael Leao was in his back pocket. He rolled him up nicely and he barked him up in 70 minutes because they had to take him off because AC Milan already threw the game away. Like, AC Milan knew they weren't getting anything out of him. On that left-hand side, he only had one clear-cut opportunity. And even then, it was just setting a chance up for De Ketelaere. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Other than that, Leao didn't do a thing. Rhys James had him in his back pocket. Going forward as well, his crosses finally not being disrespected. You see what happens when it's an actual number 9 there and not Kai Havertz. Brilliant assist for the first goal. That near-post finish as well for the second goal, no, the third goal, by the way, was unbelievable. And he's starting to make that into a regular trait of his. His near post finishing is it's crazy. And we got a wing back who is potentially our best finisher other than Aubameyang. Absolutely ridiculous. Best right back in the league. Potentially best right back in the world. We don't need to have this silly debate anymore. Trent's nice going forward and all of that, but he ain't as all-rounded as Rhys James. But I had to put the point out there because we can't go this video without talking about the pair of them. We just can't. What's the third point we're going to go into? Raheem Sterling. Let's talk about Raheem Sterling because he was frustrating. He definitely was frustrating. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or anything. I thought he did well to draw fouls from the AC Milan defence and his dribbling was solid and everything, but his end product and his decision-making really let him down. And I feel like that's the frustrating part of him that a lot of City fans were talking about when we first signed him. But here's the thing. In spite of that probably being his worst performance of the season for us, guess who still got an assist? Raheem Sterling, bruv. And this is the difference between quality and mid. Like, when Havertz has a poor game, he is holding us back, and it's like we're playing against 10 men. When Mount plays a bad game, it's like we're playing against 10 men. Same thing with Pulisic, same thing with Ziyech. When Sterling has a bad game, he is still drawing fouls, he is still beating players, and he is still racking up G&A. So, when people put Sterling next to our attack, you need to talk about him differently as you do about the rest of the players, because I see a lot of people trying to bring down the likes of Sterling and other wingers just to try and prop their forwards. But no, we are not doing this. Raheem Sterling, good game or not, is still capable of causing damage to any team at any given moment. And that is what we need from our forwards. This is what I mean when I say we need to upgrade our entire attack. Because we need attackers that can have poor games and the standards still won't drop. Right now we have a string of forwards who when they play badly, you know. And there is no other redeemable qualities about that. This is the difference right here. My next point, Chalobah just in general, because my original point was he has to be above Aspi in the pecking order, but I don't want to disrespect Aspi like that. But he does have to be above him in the pecking order now. Like, there has been this debate over Chalobah or Aspi. Sorry. Chalobah has to be the priority because he's got the age on Azpi. He's got the legs on Azpi as well. Azpi's only really good at 1v1s, and even then he can't really last a full 90 anymore. The only reason why I'm bringing Azpi up right now is because I believe if Tuchel was still here, he probably would have picked Azpi. If anything, if this was one of Potter's first 2 or 3 games, he probably still would have picked Azpi because he would have gone for experience. That would have been a much different game for us if it was Azpi against Rafael Leao as opposed to Chalobah. Because one thing we did as well is we packed out the right-hand side to completely neutralise Leao as well. And Chalobah came in and it was an absolutely flawless transition from Fofana to him. Couldn't tell the difference. Both did their job. Both did their part to keep Leao quiet. Brilliant performance from Chalobah. Now, my final point. Kepa. Does he deserve to keep his place over Mendy? Because he's been playing for a few games now. And I still can't really tell. Like, really and truly, we're not going to drop him anyway because he's finally got himself a clean sheet. It was a good performance. I still don't think he did much. There was a nice save from De Ketelaere, but I think more De Ketelaere just had a terrible shot. Like, when the ball's set up like that, you should be aiming for one of the corners, but I ain't going to complain too much about it. But other than that, I thought Kepa was solid. His kicking was atrocious. I'll be real, his kicking was terrible. So many times he sent it out for a throw-in. But other than that, it was a solid performance. And with Mendy coming back to fitness, I don't know if he starts. I really don't know if he starts. And also don't know if he deserves to start. But Kepa had a very good performance and keep it up. Keep it up because I'm still waiting for him to properly be tested in a game. I'm waiting to come out of a match thinking, rah, Kepa saved us there. Kepa had a brilliant performance. We haven't got there yet with him. But give him the time. We'll see what Graham Potter can do. I don't know who to trust out of Kepa or Mendy, so I would rather just go with whoever's on form. But yeah, it is what it is. But that is the end of 5 things we learnt from Chelsea 3, AC Milan 0. Let me know your thoughts down in the description below, whether you agree or disagree with anything I've said. Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, up the Chelsea.